Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, December 16th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 30 minutes worth of time. Stock number one, SOUN. Been tracking this one very closely, and that red line there should hopefully stand out to those of you that have watched the past videos because that has been our key area of resistance. And you can see earlier on in the day, price came up there, got the break from there, and then a very, very beautiful move the rest of the day. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those lines because they've all served their purpose for now, and we'll kind of start fresh here. So moving forward, the ideal level of support, when you say, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? That would be if the price could stay up there above $16. Now, don't get me wrong. If the price falls below 16, that does not mean the entire chart's epically destroyed or anything like that. But yeah, if the price could stay above there, that would certainly be a great sign of power. Now, taking a step back and looking at things from the bigger picture point of view, that is where the purple line comes into play, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword certainly being moving. I understand the price is way up here. That line's way down there. But as time goes by, that line's going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. So it's essentially a trend line. In fact, I like to call moving averages trend lines for lazy people. If you don't feel like drawing a trend line, just let this trend line, quote unquote, draw itself for you. So overall, though, if you care about the bigger picture, as long as the price is above that purple line, the bulls are in full health. In terms of areas of resistance, no need to overcomplicate this. Just a basic question, where did the party finally stop today? And it stopped right up there at about $17.30. So for that reason alone, is going to be the main battleground here headed into next week. But all in all, any way you look at it, very, very impressive way to end the week. Next one here, RGTI. And overall, things recovered nicely from yesterday's movement. Yesterday's movement did have the price actually slightly down below that purple line, which was not the end of the world as I talked about in yesterday's video, but it was something that at least keep an eye on. But you can see now the price got back above it, and then that purple line went right back to acting as support. So it did not explode to new highs or anything like that, but it's definitely keeping the overall chart nice and healthy, building higher bases. And the level that you got to think a lot of people are now going to start watching going into next week is this area right here. And I'm not trying to impress you. I think a lot of people have drawn that trend line. And I make that comment because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So there are no guarantees, but is it valid? Is it plausible to think that the price goes up there? And if it can break through that level, that break could create upside buying pressure, that is certainly more than valid. So as far as levels of support are concerned, already talked about that. Ideal level you want to see continue to hold is going to be that purple line right there. But in the event the price does not hold above that, then the next key area of support would be down here right at that area of $5.83. But all in all, nice close to the week. Next one, ACHR. Quite the crazy movement on this one. This morning, big spike up, pretty nasty pullback, and then all of a sudden, very, very impressive move back to the upside, which now leaves us with a very key level of resistance that I think everybody will keep an eye on right here around $8.50. And I say around because it's not exact. Right there, the price got slightly above it. Right there, the price didn't quite hit it. And then right there, the price essentially hit that level. So point being, right around $8.50 is definitely going to be that key battleground to watch as far as areas of resistance are concerned. If $8.50 is broken, then you can see that the opens things. Actually, I take that back because not that far away from. So we'll call this a resistance zone. So from $8.50 up to $8.65, this zone is going to be the key area to watch. But if the price can break through there, next area of resistance is not until all the way up there. Now, does that mean that if that zone is broken, the price shoots straight up to that level? If only it were that easy. My point here is that there's just a lot of space as far as the chart is concerned. So it's realistic to think that the price could pick up momentum. So keep your eye on this area of resistance, this zone, and let's see if the price can push up through. Next one here, MSTZ. I'm going to go through this one really quickly because there's not a whole lot to talk about, especially if you've watched the past videos. But the other videos I've been talking about, you want to see this 87, 88 cent area hold strong. Because if it holds strong, then at least you'd have a set of lows right here. And that's previous set. Oh, you can't even see it because it's behind my ugly mug. There we go. So if this area here holds, generally speaking, and then the previous low is right there, and if you envision each one of those as stair steps, you would, from the bigger picture standpoint, still have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. And that's what it's all about. And as right now, yeah, the price is still just kind of hovering around this area. Now, I will say that if the price comes down there and pushes through that 82 cent mark, To me, that's essentially the price having given up all its strength, and it's going to just be meandering down in this area of the chart, which is basically where it was at those lows. So in my mind, 82 cents, very, very important level of support going into next week. Next one here, NVDA. This will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video, but if you did, you know that, or hopefully you remember that I talked about that area of support right there and talked about how the shorts may be interested in it, and rightfully so. Price came down here, broke through that level, and that opened up the floodgates as the price shot down quite a bit. Now, to be fair, there is a little bit of an upwards move, but with that being said, yes, there is some upwards movement here, but for those people that care about the bigger picture, part of that is saying, well, what was happening before this upwards channel? And those people would say, well, the price was up there, and then it went all the way down there, which has now given me the ability to draw a bear flag pattern. Now, just because it's a bearish pattern does not mean for sure the price is going to go down. Same with the bullish pattern. Just because there's a bullish pattern doesn't mean the price is going to go up. But in this situation, bearish pattern doesn't mean the price is going to keep going down, but would it be shocking? Would it just be, well, where did that come from to see the price potentially break there and get more downside pressure? That would not be shocking at all. So to just summarize really NVIDIA going into next week, 30-minute time frame, bear flag pattern. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering next week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, then definitely get signed up for the free training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link in the description box you can use, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, you want to learn how to build consistency, manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, ticker symbol QBTS. We already did ACHR. Again, just to make sure we're on the same page, QBTS. And for those of you that have watched past videos, congratulations to anybody that, and so this is just the power of charts, not to pat myself on the back, but to definitely pat charts on the back and turn this into a little plug. Go get signed up for that free webinar because charts are a great tool. But you can see right here, price came down here at that line, which you're like, whatever, Clay, you just put that there before you started recording. I can totally see that. But the good news is about, or the nice thing about this is just, if you don't believe me, no problem. Just go back in the archive and watch the previous videos and you'll see, no, I had this line down there. Again, not to brag about myself, but certainly to brag about charts. So 377 was an area you'd want to see act as support. And anybody that bought at that support, they got paid in a big way today as this thing has made a fantastic move. So yes, 377 is still a level of support, the ideal level. Again, that being the area that would make this chart look the strongest moving forward would be if the price can stay above that purple line there, 50-period moving average right now valued at 443. And then in terms of areas of resistance, the big battleground here that is coming into play once again right up there around $5.30. One of these situations where, again, yes, the price didn't hit it right there. Price went slightly above it right there. So just kind of trying to find the middle ground right there. So public enemy number one into next week, $5.30. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this thing just doesn't go down, up and up and up. I think put in new highs every single day this week. But I mean, look at this trend. If you're writing a textbook on how to do charting and the trend chapter, you could throw this one right on page number 1. Beautiful uptrend, and one of those things where it is now officially pushing to new highs. So this afternoon, there is a little miniature pattern right here, but it's broken up through there. So really just a question right now of, okay, is this breakout the start of something bigger? How far is this breakout going to go? So that's the main dynamic if you like to play continuation and momentum. If you're someone that's like, no, I don't really like to do that. I feel like I'm, chasing stocks. Well, then as far as supports are concerned and potential pullback areas, first level to watch and that ideal level, again, what would make the chart look the strongest? That would be if the price can stay above 428.50. And then just from the overarching standpoint, maybe you've already kind of connected those dots. As long as the price stays above that purple line, 50-period moving average, the overall trend is fully in the bull's favor. But not a whole lot to say because this is at all-time highs. It's just broken out, so the momentum is there. Very strong final 30 minutes to the day. So we'll see if it carries over the weekend into Monday. Next one, TRUG. Pretty interesting looking chart here. Yesterday's action looked very, very depressing. Big move up, and then basically went all the way back down. But then all of a sudden, a big move up and back down. Not as low as it went, but yeah, definitely an interesting scenario here. So moving into next week, the level that stands out to me, at least from a support standpoint, and which is illustrating that the bulls did make some progress, is this upwards movement right there. Although, I mean, this last 30-minute candle here, that's a pretty nasty candle. That doesn't guarantee anything, but it does make me a little worried about whether or not that trend line can hold. So we'll see how that plays out. And then if there is any sort of attempted turnaround, the main area of resistance that stands out to me is that resistance level right there. So yeah, kind of a goofy looking trend line, but this is just a goofy looking chart, so I'm doing my best with it as I can. But if you do like penny stocks, you like stocks with a whole lot of volatility, then this one certainly fits the bill. Next one, WKEY, which does spell key. So WKEY, we're going to call it. But very, very nice mover today. And one of these situations where if you like to play the breakouts, you basically already missed it because there was this nice little pattern here that had formed throughout the course of the day. And then late day, though, the price did break through it. But that does lead to a always interesting question. Is this breakout the start of something even bigger? Now, think about that question. It makes no sense to ask it if nothing worthwhile has happened. But in this situation, something worthwhile has happened. So it does make sense to ask that question. But yeah, as far as playing the breakout, yeah, you essentially already missed that. So it's more so a potential. Now, I guess if you wanted to, try to play a breakout right there. But as far as, I think with the main dynamic here is just seeing what develops because it could pull back here a little bit. And then from that angle, from a pattern perspective, you could say, well, you have this pullback, you have that nice move there, and there's a little bull flag. So those sorts of things are always possible. But just from an overall trend line perspective, I think that area does a good job of, green for support, kind of showing one potential area where the price could pull back to. So keep an eye on that. And then just from the overarching standpoint, so big picture standpoint, just watch that purple line as the line moves higher and higher, assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view, as long as the price stays above there, that would be ideal. But at the end of the day, it's got the two main ingredients that we want as traders. It's got big volume and it's got good solid volatility. So yeah, there's not necessarily a totally clean-cut setup right now, but the volume is there, the volatility is there, and if you like this scenario, especially I know a lot of people like stocks down below $10, keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol AMD, and I like this one because it is one of my favorite patterns that exist out there, so let's just get this drawn into place. So we have our resistance line. We have our support line, and this would be a falling wedge pattern, which you would think is a bearish pattern, but it's actually a bullish pattern, whereas the rising wedge is the bearish pattern. So yeah, it's AMD, a very well-known stock, and there's a lot of choices. A lot of people like to play options on it. Some people just play the stock, but it's really just as straightforward as that. If you're somebody that likes more so these quote-unquote expensive stocks, but you like well-known stocks such as AMD, and you're a fan of the falling wedge pattern, then no need to overcomplicate this. That's the main dynamic here headed into next week. So we'll see if there's any sort of follow-through with this falling wedge or not. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a moment, but again, for you stock traders out there, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, then definitely go get signed up for the free live training next week. It'll be Thursday, December 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so I hope to see you there. And then as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these and if you just want to support the channel in a totally free way, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help out. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. We are now on the 4-hour time frame. So each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours as opposed to 30 minutes, which is what those other, which is what we were previously using. But because Bitcoin is open 24/7, I want this video to remain relevant all weekend long. So by using longer time frames and then walking through some questions, that'll allow me to keep this analysis relevant. So let's just say you're watching this video Sunday afternoon. Question number one you need to ask yourself is, where's the price at relative to 102,200. So 102,200. Where's the price at relative to that level? If you're answering the question that the price is above that area, that is a good thing. That means that the price is up nearly right, potentially breaking new highs, and that is going to be a good thing. Now, what would make this a great thing? Well, if you're answering the question that the price is actually up above those highs right there, that's telling you that Bitcoin's having a great weekend, because not only has it gotten above that area of resistance right there, it's also gotten above that area right there. Now, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, no, the price is down below this area when I'm watching this. All right, next question is, where's the price at relative to the pink line there, 200 period moving average? If you're answering the question, the price down below there, I'm not saying the chart's ruined, but it's definitely a uh-oh kind of situation. And the next follow-up question would be, well, how far down below is it? And the further down below it is, the more of a uh-oh it's beginning to be. But like I said, it doesn't necessarily, just because it's slightly down below there, not necessarily any reason to panic. Or maybe you're saying, well, Clay, the price is up above here, but the price is down below there. At that point, that's just you saying what the price is, consolidating somewhere around here. That would just be one word, consolidation. So it'd be pretty neutral, but you still have to give it to the advantage to the bulls because the overall trend is in the bullish direction. So keep your eye on those levels, walk yourself through those questions, and that'll keep this analysis relevant all weekend long. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for the free live webinar, because what you'll learn about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So as mentioned earlier, it'll be next week, Thursday, December 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. And like I mentioned already, if you enjoy these, if you appreciate me doing Bitcoin and you want to just support the channel in a super easy way, please just hit that subscribe button. So thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and make sure you get signed up for the free class.